Now here we have to draw an orthographic projection of this house. Notice that there are some starter lines ready for us. We have the front labeled, which is anything we see from this direction. We see the facade of our house and the chimney. And then we have the end view, which is anything that we see from the side of our house. We see that rectangle, a bit of the roof, and of course the side of our chimney. Then we have the plan, which is anything that we see from the top view of our house. We see the entire roof here and the top part of our chimney. Let's start by drawing the front elevation. Let's refer to our 3D model and see how the front elevation is going to look. Now here we have our baseline ready for us, which is this line here. Now let's start drawing from this point. And this sideline is 4 squares long. And draw it onto our front elevation. Do the same on the other side. I could have easily taken these lines from the end, however, let's continue this way. Now let's find the topmost corner of our house. Now let's start counting from this point over here. So that point is 3 squares to the right. 1, 2, 3. Let's mark that down. And 2 squares up. And let's join that point with the other ends of the lines. Now let's draw the door. The door is 2 squares at the right. Let's mark that down. It is 3 squares high. And 2 squares, 1, 2, 2 squares wide. Let's do that line, 3 squares down. And let's draw that midline over there. Now let's draw our end view, our end elevation. Let's refer back to our 3D model. This is how it should look like. Now the end is almost completely finished, as you can see. However, we have that missing window over there, so let's draw that. The window is 3 squares to the left, 1 square up, let's go 1 square to the left and 1 square to the right. 2 squares high. Do the same on the other side. And don't forget those crossing lines at the middle to identify that that is a window. Now let's take a look at how the plan is going to look like. Unfortunately, we have some perspective at play here. The top and bottom lines should be both straight. Now, same as always, the width of the plan is going to be taken from the end, because as you can see, we're working with the same shape, therefore the end and the plan should have the same width. And let's project those lines onto the projector line, the 45-degree line that we see there, and onto our plan in a horizontal way. Just like that, keep those lines as light as possible. Now on the plan, I have that starter line over there, which is the length of our house, which are those 2 points that I've shown you on the isometric. Now on the plan, I'm going to project that midline of the roof over there, which is that point on the front, onto the plan. Keep those lines as light as possible, and I'm going to do the same with the side lines, those 2 corners that I see on the front, and project those onto the plan. Now our plan is finished. Now all is left for us to do is to darken the outlines of each elevation. And let's color. Now as seen, the plan is colored in red, and I can see the roof and the top part of our chimney. Now let's color all of that in red. Let's color the front in blue. I see the facade and the front part of our chimney. Now it's all blue except for the door. Now the end of our house is green. However, the side of the roof that we are seeing on the end is red. Now let's color that in red. And finally, let's color our windows and door. Now both of them are made out of glass, so let's give them a glass-like look. And then we're done.